Hey guys, Wolfie here. This is the 3rd anniversary video, aka the February calendar preview for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Amiel Global for the 25th or 26th of January 2021, depending on your local time zone. So, before I get into the meat of this video, I am wearing anti-blue light glasses. This actually helps out with those who work in front of a computer screen 99.9% of the time like I do. This helps with reducing the occurrence of migraines, headaches, eye strain, that sort of thing. Because I do have astigmatism, which is a visual condition in both eyes, so that's that. And I just want to do a bit of a confession on that beforehand. So this is the 3rd anniversary video. I think I did a previous take on this. This is going to be, I said it was 2 parts. This is actually going to be in 3 parts, because first part here is going to be the stuff that's been revealed in the stream, and this will be part of all, and there's going to be a part in this video where you're going to hear me repeat it to some extent in all 3 parts, and that is the second character to get their LD first on Global. So that's the only thing you're going to be knowing right now in part 1 is that there's going to be the LD first. I'm going to be repeating this to some degree in all 3 parts. So part 1, again, is just the information from the stream with my opinions on some aspects here and there. Part 2 is I'm going to be addressing something that I caught at the post-stream, which I took part of too, and that I'm going to be one that admits it. And I'm going to sign off on that to some extent. Part 3 is the whole thing I do once every 6 months, where it's like the state of the game, the likes, dislikes, areas of concern, suggestions for improvement, overall thoughts, that sort of thing. So it's going to be in 3 parts, not 2. So with that, the usual disclaimer applies. Any opinion in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. So I'm going to jump into something that I'm not 100% surprised they did not bring up in the stream. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. It is the new Warrior Gem Sale update. So at the end of this month, we are going to be getting an update to this. We don't know the exact specifics of this just yet, but it's all the information you see here on the screen. So whatever we have had in the past for the new Warrior Gem Sale, it's going to be no more once comes the end of the month. Now, we are going to be getting some updates, like I said, this was not brought up in this stream at all, but I do want to bring it up here because, again, we know it's coming, we don't know the specifics beyond that. And then with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into maintenance, so let me grab the information here. This is going to be tomorrow morning from 8 to 10:30 a.m. UTC. That's about 2 to 4:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's on that. So, with that, so I'm just going to go into some of the notes I've noticed from the stream here. So, after the maintenance, like I said, I do have my little notebook here. Let me show you guys. This was given to me by somebody I know in the United Kingdom, so that's it on that. Shout out to Carolyn in the UK. Hi. So basically here, I'm going to reveal the person who just got revealed for LD first for Global. It's Balthier from Final Fantasy XII. He does get his 8080 Awakening alongside his alternate costume. However, like Vivi, Balthier will not get the LD extension to the character enhancement boards. So that's all I'm going to say on that. For the alternate costume bundles, these do come with 9,000 gems. It is going to be $36.99 United States currency before tax. So that's on that. So we're going to go into that. So post-maintenance, so we are going to go into some of the Q&A that was revealed towards the end of the stream before Balthier's LD was revealed. I'm going to do an opinion on that at the end of this part. I'll bring it up in parts 2 and 3 to some extent though. So stay tuned for those who might get around to filming them. So basically, a lot of stuff that was actually asked, which was revealed on the stream, it does sound like some stuff is up in the air. Some stuff is going to be worked on, on an overall scale. So some of the stuff that gets that is up in the air, it's when it comes down to the co-ops. meaning that the timer for somebody to act, and the chaos co-op. So pretty much those are the two things that are 100% in the air. Because you have to think about it, it's just like, people want a challenge, but do you want a challenge that turns away the player base? It's a bit of a catch-22, and sometimes you can't do a good thing by being so selfish. That's just my 2 cents. So the whole thing with the chaos co-op, the timer reduction, that is both up in the air per the stream, so I am naming my sources. Comes to some of the other QOLs, so some stuff is up in the air. The one thing that is slated to go into JP first is the improvement to the EX abilities. So we do know that's going to be in the future. So it's going to be introduced to JP first because, of course, JP's been around a year longer than Global. So there is slated to be some improvements to the EX abilities. We don't know the timetables for that as of yet. As well as the when. And how it's going to be implemented. That sort of thing. So with that bit out of the way, so there's a lot of stuff here. Like I said, I have my notes here. A lot of stuff is up in the air. So the information, post-maintenance, there is some QOLs here, but it's not that much in my personal opinion, but sometimes that is a good thing. So one of the things here that is after the maintenance is there's going to be a cap lift to each of the crystals, like tiers 1 through 6. So the cap's going to be lifted to 99,999, which is really good because guess what? We don't have to worry about our, this guy right over here, that little box. We don't have to worry about that as much as in the past. So we don't have to worry about that. Now, there's going to be an introduction to a new feature for the, let me grab the quest item thing real quick, so that way you guys get to see, what's going on. So for the hunts here, there's going to be more than one type of hunt. And the other type of hunts, so you have here the daily hunts right here. So there's going to be a newer version called the Elite Hunts. Now, the way the Elite Hunts works, since it's like the permit, you're only allowed one Elite Hunt permit per week. And the way it works, let me grab the item. Let me go into, did I get the right? No, actually I went through the wrong thing, folks. So you guys have to forgive me. Oh, item exchange, here it is. So, basically the way the elite hunts work is that you have to exchange for that permit with your Dissidia points. So, we do have the 900 still right here for your Power Stone. So that's down that. So that's the way that's the way the Elite Hunts work, so that sort of thing. So you have to use your Dissidia points. Now, I'm not at all surprised by this because this does help out, in my personal opinion, with the panel missions where it's like you have like this many amount of daily hunts, whatever. This actually helps, so I like this. So with that bit out of the way, this is more QOL stuff. So with that, there's going to be the party use screen. It's going to make things a bit easier. So whenever you do whatever, you get it right off the gate. That's going to be easier, less time consuming, which I really like. There's also going to be a new feature called the status badge. I don't know if this is on JP yet, but I'm not complaining because it's like it's really cool with what they're doing here. There's also going to be some daily logins from, I'm not so sure exactly when. I really didn't catch that. Oh, let me see if I caught it. So I'm looking at my notes right here. So okay, so basically there is going to be some daily logins. There's also going to be some daily login good stuff. So there's going to be like, whatever you get plus whatever, daily logins, that sort of thing. I believe one of the sites included the burst weapon token, which is really good because it gives people one token closer to tokening whatever burst weapon they have. And especially it's good for those who are gunning for the burst weapon of a character they don't have a burst weapon for, but they have the LD. So for me personally, it's one burst weapon token closer to Sephiroth, because I have his LD, but not his burst. So that's just my account, that sort of thing. Now, regarding the information that's like not immediately after maintenance, so we do have some stuff to go over here. So before I go any further, the stream rewards is the usual 3,000 gems, 1 power stone, 10 of the armor tokens, and 20 of the draw tickets. There is a Portal app campaign collab. It's just the 1st through the 28th of February. The slides from the stream will show you exactly what's up for grabs. Outside the 4th tier, honestly, I'm a little disappointed in that, because it's like becoming the same old song and dance. And sometimes you gotta spice things up in order to, you know, keep people engaged, if you will. Now, with that bit out of the way, we're going to go into the debut of a new aspect of the World of Illusions. Let me pause this video real quick. Okay, so basically here, there's going to be a newer addition to the World of Illusions, known as Divine Enter Esper's name. And the first Esper is going to be getting their level 40 awakening is none other than Diabolos. And the thing is that with this, you're going to see a rework for Ramza, alongside his 80/80 awakening, and the debut of the LD extension of the character enhancement boards. Now, I'm going to get into this particular section here, the LD extension, towards the end of this part, because this also introduces the next wave of the 80/80 awakenings, which again introduces Ramza for the next burst and LD weapon. Now, for the following characters, they are getting their 80/80 awakenings, and it is Ramza from Final Fantasy Tactics, Ida from Final Fantasy XIV, Maria from Final Fantasy II, Mackinac from Final Fantasy Type 0. He will get his LD extension board as well. Pain from Final Fantasy X-2, and Freya from Final Fantasy IX. Now, the way that the Divine Espers work is it's different than what we're used to. Now, it's not so much developing the characters this time around, but when it comes to like Divine Diabolos, or later on Divine Brothers, or Divine Pandemonium, both of them are later in Global. And Pandemonium being slated to come out on JP, I want to say in February? I could be wrong there. But the thing is that it's a lot different, because with the farming stage, you get the materials to enhance the Espers. It's a lot different than before, because you're not working on the characters, you're working on the Espers. And the best way to do the Espers, like it sets at the maximum amount of points, is if you notice here my ranking here, so I'm going to do a little point here, is I'm going to go point out here closer here. So this is kind of like me right here in a nutshell. So basically what you want here is that you want to be as high of a rank as possible. And by that, you want to be as high of a rank as that you get more points that way. You also have to have a Moogle Pass active. So the higher your rank, and you have it in Moogle Pass, you should probably have not much of an issue getting Diabolos up to level 40. Now, the other part of the equation to get the best amount of points, is using synergy. Meaning that you could use, for example, Ida, Maria, Freya, or Pain, Mackinac, Ramza. It's any of those 6. You have a limited amount of time to work up Diabolos up to level 40. Now, granted, Divine Diabolos is permanent, but the synergy is not. So that's what I want to bring up regarding the Divine Esper for the World of Illusions. So, with that bit out of the way, so there's also going to be a co-op, and I do want to mention here that with the farmable stage, it is at the Cosmos difficulty, so most of us should not have much of an issue with getting Diabolos in this regard. Now, like I said, there is a co-op, so that's it on that, and there is the debut of the LD extension board, so there's going to be characters, like getting them in time, so that's it on that. And like I said, I do want to reiterate here in part 1 is that Balthier, yes, he gets his 80-80 awakening. Yes, he gets his LD first on Global. But he does not, I repeat, does not get the LD extension board. Because I think on JP, he does not have this as of yet. So, with that aspect out of the way, with the Divine Diabolos, so we have here the 31st of January through the 1st of March, is going to be aspects of the 3rd anniversary campaign, which has free multiples on select banners, alongside a protagonist banner return, meaning that Ramza, Sarah, Y'shtola, Ace, Lightning, Terra, those characters. Those will be part of that. I believe that has a free first multiple per day. So that's, for some of us who have everybody on that banner, it's like that's free Power Stones, free books, to realize EX weapons. So with that bit out of the way, so I'm going to go into the shops here, and I want to do a little bit of emphasis on the gem sales. So, there's going to be, varying gem sales throughout the anniversary, where this offer is a 10%, back on the purchases. Now, I'm going to have to elaborate on this to make sure this makes sense. Now, for those of us who are pay to play, what goes on here is that, let's say it's Valentine's Day, and, let's say it's not Valentine's Day, it's, the 5th of February, and you buy Balthier's alternate costume alongside a weapon skin for a gag. And speaking of that, there is one coming for Global, and it's an introduction of these weapon glosses, where it's like there's some bundles come along with it, and the gloss is a gag. So it's a golden cactuar for Global. These do come with gems. I don't know the price as of yet. They did not mention this. But it is one of those where it's like you get the weapon skin and you get gems along with it. Now the amount of gems here, let me grab my notes. Let me see. I know I wrote this down. It's 2,960 gems per whatchamacallit. It's like you buy the bundle, you get 2,960 gems. So I don't think they revealed the price. I should be able to find that soon enough. So that's on that. Now, the thing is, like, you buy the gems at some point in February, that at some point between early to mid-March, you get a 10% back of gems, where it's like you buy, let's see, let me grab a bundle right here. Let's say you buy one of these weapon enhancement chests, like during the month of February. So you buy some of those, you buy the Kupo card minis, whatever. So, whatever. And then, at some point in March, you get 10% of that back for free. Now, I don't know how this worked on JP, but to some people, this might seem to be a time frame where Global is starting to become more pay to play. This may turn some people off because it's like, hey, what about us free to play players? We're helping you with all this stuff. But I think this is like, for Global, this is a way of saying, hey, thanks to those who are financially supporting the game. But it's a bit of a wait and see, how it works before I actually sound off on it improper. So basically, that's how the whole the quote-unquote cashback works. It's like, you buy the bundles in February, you get some gems back in March. So it's going to be 10% of what you get. So, with that bit out of the way, the lost chapters for the month of February are going to be Caius and Jack. Caius being from Final Fantasy 13-2. He gets his rework, he gets his 80-80 awakening, he gets the LD debut, and he also gets the character enhancement boards. So that's down for Caius. Now with Jack, it's just the 80-80 awakening character enhancement boards, as well as his LD debut. So Jack does not get a rework. Now, the thing here is that with, regarding Caius, is that for his Lost Chapter, he is going to be Lost Chapter Synergy. And let me pause this video real quick. Okay, so I was actually going in the right direction. So Caius is going to be launched chapter synergy for a new character for Global. It is the global debut of Guy for Final Fantasy II. So for the 4 main characters, 2 is done, but I do feel that there are more from Final Fantasy II coming in the future because there are some other characters, during the events of 2 where Maria kind of hinted at it. It's some extent, the friends, we fought with died, that sort of thing. So I do feel there are more representatives from 2 coming in the future. We simply don't know if that's true. If it is true, who? So basically, the new character event is going to be Guy. He's going to be coming with the works 1535 EX and LD, as well as his character enhancement board. So basically, for Caius's banner, Jack's banner, as well as Guy's banner, those 3 will be coming with a free multi. Now, the second LD weapon person for the month of February is none other than one of my favorite villains from this franchise, and that is Ultimecia. You can bet your ass I'll be going after her burst weapon. Because at some point, Ultimecia gets her 80/80 awakening and her character enhancement boards. And by that, the LD, I believe it is the LD extension because she does have skill 1, skill 2, and EX aspects of it. I think she does get her LD extension here because, again, February is where the LD extensions do show up. So, that's on that. Like I said, I will be going after Ultimecia's burst weapon because that's my girl. Now, with that bit out of the way, Penelo, she does get her LD weapon when Ultimecia gets her LD weapon returning alongside her burst. Now, unlike Ultimecia, Penelo already has her 80/80 awakening. Now, I do want to point out with Penelo's LD weapon, hers does come back. So it's one of those, if you don't get it, like when Ultimecia's 80/80 awakening shows up, you don't have to fret about it too much. Now, I believe there's some stuff, along the way where it's like, okay, where's some of the rest of the stuff? Now, I'm not going to sound off on that because it's not mentioned in the stream. Who am I to complain? Now, with that, and what I mean by that is that there is going to be one other banner where it is going to be an Ultimecia burst weapon, but it's going to be the 80/80 awakening and LD debut for whole Final Fantasy 13. So that's all I'm going to say as a spoiler because that is going to be the other banner for Ultimecia. Okay, so I actually had to pause the video there real quickly. So, again, Ultimecia does have one more banner with her burst, and it's when Hope gets his 80/80 awakening and his LD debut. Now, the only spoiler I'm going to provide for Hope's LD is that it gives him a new reason to be relevant in party comps. Because the reason is that Hope does something that nobody else does. And that is imperil magic damage. Meaning that you put him in with a magic user, it's going to get interesting in a good way because Hope can make magic users more effective. So that's the missing banner evolving Ultimecia's burst weapon. Now, there is some information pertaining to Dimensions and Entropy Tier 20. It's best to catch the replay of the stream because the way Josh worded it, in my personal opinion, it was too fast. It was very difficult for me to understand. But in a nutshell, there was something going on JP around that time where people were abusing certain aspects of it. And it turned out there was a bug. So there's not going to be that bug on Global. With that being said, there are limited time missions for tiers 15, 18, and 20. And whatever you got from before regarding like the rewards, the first time the limited time aspects showed up, it's not going to show up if you already completed it. Now, you guys are wondering, why am I still not doing Entropy? Unfortunately, in recent weeks, I've been dealing with some lower back issues. I'm taking a close monitoring of my kidneys because of some stuff in recent weeks, so I am monitoring my kidneys very closely. I'm also monitoring my lower back a lot more than usual because my birthday was Friday, and I'm 39, so I'm one of those people, I actually have to look out for myself a little bit more than playing a game like this. So with that, I believe there is some other aspects related to Dimensions End entropy. So the thing is with Dimensions End, so tier 20 is not going to end Dimensions End at all. With that being said, there is going to be another aspect to Dimensions End coming in the future for global, and I believe it's Transcendence. I think it is. It's I believe that's the Lufenia difficulty, and there is more Abyss content coming that's limited time. So that's all I can really say on the matter. Now, with Ultimecia 8080 Awakening, it does come around the time with the a new Heretic event, so it's really cool. I'm looking forward to see how that goes. So with that, basically all out of the way, now I'm going to sound off on some things here. So, when it comes down to the reward stream for Anniversary for Global, this kind of does show in a sense that JP is a bit more generous. Because JP has more, opportunities for their player base, to get some stuff here. A few extra gems or a few tickets here or there. But Global's not doing it, and this is what's going to hurt Global in the long run. Because from a business standpoint, you gotta give players, more opportunity to get some free stuff. JP's doing it, why isn't Global? Now, with that out of the way, and I'm gonna go into, and this is for my part of my tips here, so you gotta manage to pulls wisely. However, there are a good amount of free multi-pulls, so take advantage of those. I mean, because if you can save your resources somehow, then that's the icing on the cake. Now, when it comes down to tier 20 of Dimensions End entropy, the fact that certain things aren't getting repeated from JP to Global, this might turn some Global players off. But you can't win them all. That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, with the new Warrior bundle for the update, I'm not at all surprised because changes always come for this game, and it might benefit some, and some people might be going WTF. Now, regarding Balthier being LD first, now, this is where people are allowed to have an opinion, and I am no different. Now, the thing is with Balthier, he can be used to some extent because he can remove debuffs on people and apply them to himself. Now, if there was one person who actually needed their LD more than Balthier, it's actually Fang. Because Fang is still at 70-70 on JP. She has been quite outdated. And the thing is with 13, could use a little bit of love. Because for people giving certain entries more love on a constant basis, this may turn some people off because they're forcing you to use people that they don't want to use. And for me, I want to be using Fang more than I currently have. I have her benched right now. And I really don't want to be forcing to use other players where it's I'm not going to have as much fun. And if people are advocating certain things, it's got to be consistent all across the board. Not just when we feel like it. Now, there's one other thing that I want to address here. And this was mentioned on the stream. Josh had a lot of balls for bringing this up. And that is the backseat gaming. Now, some of the stuff that I caught him saying about backseat gaming, I wish that was said sooner. Because taking it to the 3rd anniversary for somebody who's a part of the game finally saying something, I mean, granted, I applauded for saying it. I just wish it would have been said by him or Glacy a lot sooner. About backseat gaming. Because it's I mean, do you want people to play at their own pace or rush through it and risk certain things? It's something, we all have to take into consideration as part of the global player base. Now, like I said, this is gonna be 3 parts because part 2 is going to be the whole thing that's after the stream was ended that I took part in. So that's part 2. Part 3 is my review of the game up to this point. So with that, I am done with this part 1. With Wolfie here signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.